We have aTnDarKFoRcE. We have Grubby. We have a Zerg versus a Protoss on darim altars. Oh my goodness, I am Squiggles, and thank you for joining me for another cast. Now, this game was played in the King of the Hill tournament, and I'm not going to spoil it for you guys because I'm not going to be casting the whole series, so I'm just going to tell you what tournament it was played in. I'm not going to tell you which game in position this was, but it was quite highly ranked and recommended to me, so I was like, oh, another good highly ranked and recommended game. Well, I gotta cast it. Psh, yeah. So, gonna be casting it right now. Also, today is Friday. Rebecca Black, ruining my Friday for me. Anyway. Today's Friday, which means today is the last day to submit your Subscriber Saturday replays to me for this weekend's Subscriber Saturday. You can send those over to squigglesstarcraft@gmail.com. And keep in mind, if you send it in on Saturday or Sunday, it's okay. It's not like I just delete it and throw it out. But what I do is I just roll it over into the next week. So if you send it in today, then I'll consider it for tomorrow and Sunday's casting. And if you send it in tomorrow, then you'll have to wait till next week to see if I pick it and cast it. So that's just the system that I have put in the place, and that is how I do things here. So, giving you the heads up. Okay, so it looks like Grubby going to be putting his first pylon down here at this really pretty wide choke by his natural. But what he's going to do is he's going to put his buildings like this, I'm assuming, so that he can just take his natural for pretty much free. Going to be scouting with this probe as well. Already knows that these Zergy pieces aren't spawning here and aren't going to spawn here. And look at this. He doesn't even go all the way up, and you don't need to when you go against the Zerg, because if there's not creep right there, then that means he's not there, so you don't have to go all the way up and check there. So he knows at this point that aTnDarKFoRcE is spawning over here, and aTnDarKFoRcE looks like is going to go for a gas first into pool build, so a one base play into probably an expansion, but he just wants to be super safe against any kind of early game shenanigans that Grubby can go ahead and put out. So it looks like Grubby going to be getting his Nexus down quite a bit before aTnDarKFoRcE even thinks about expanding. aTnDarKFoRcE does have a drone in here, and he is chasing down that probe. He wants to get that kill so bad, but the probe is now among friends. And you know what? When one is strong, 13 or 14 are stronger. So, yep, looks like Grubby going to be totally safe there, and it looks like aTnDarKFoRcE going to be putting a little bit more pressure on this probe, but not enough to even break through the shield, and he has to run away or he is going to die. Meanwhile, here come the Zerglings out, and this probe is going to have to run away, and when this probe runs away, that means that aTnDarKFoRcE is going to be safe to go ahead and take an expo if he wants to. You can see speed is already on the way, and it looks like a forge down for Grubby, cannon going down as well, and then gateway. So, wait, that's not right. It went forge, and then... Okay, I wasn't paying attention, and I apologize, but I'm going to assume it went forge, and then nexus, and then gateway, and then cannon. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm sticking with. And look at this. Nice little wall off there. Got the second gateway down. So, actually, it's not a cybernetics core. It's a gateway. But, yeah, he's going to be totally safe for a bit. Going to be a little bit behind on tech, but that's okay because he has his expansion done, and aTnDarKFoRcE's expansion isn't even halfway done yet. So Protoss going to be taking an early lead, not to mention he can chrono boost out probes 2 at a time, and oh my goodness, if you thought building workers 2 at a time is fast, try chrono boosting workers 2 at a time. My goodness, is that fast. Looks like he's going to go ahead and add on a gateway, a gas right now, getting a couple of zealots as well. Another cannon going down, and there's the core going down as well. Chrono boost going down on these probes, and it looks like these Zerglings who are out and have nothing else to do, instead of just sitting home and watching TV all day, they're going to go kill some destructible rocks, just maintaining their usefulness. And these other guys, it looks like this Overlord was like, I got the Zelnaga Watchtower, guys, and then he realized that, you know, flying units can't actually hold Zelnaga Watchtower, so he's a little bit embarrassed, but he's going to do everything he can to scout. And look at this Overlord, trying to get some scouting in without actually killing himself. So, good job there. It looks like there is no stalkers out right now. Lair is on the way, and these destructible rocks not all the way dead yet, but look at this, there's a zealot on the way, and so these Zerglings going to be coming around and being like, oh, hello, Mr. Zealot, how are you doing? And, oh, look at the little micro there, so good, able to salvage, well, almost salvage one Zergling, but make Grubby do a little bit of micro of his own on that Zealot to target the right Zergling. So nice job there by aTnDarKFoRcE, just pulling back that Zergling really, really quickly like that. Nice little play. And what do we have now? It looks like the lair not quite done yet, and Zerglings going back with their friends now to go ahead and tag team these destructible rocks. They are going to be going down in just a second. Oh, this queen just sighed. She's like, I kind of have indigestion already, and I really need to throw up. And the hatchery was like, sorry, you got to wait in line to throw up here. So there's the energy, and oh, there we go. Oh, stomach feels so much better. Oh, so good. Also, it looks like creep tumor is being spread already, so good job there. Adding on gases number 3 and 4. A little bit out of order, but yeah, 3 and 4. So going to be some gas-heavy stuff going on for the Protoss, and it looks like a Spire is what's going to go down. So getting a really fast Spire off of 2 bases. I'm assuming a 3rd base is going to be gotten pretty quick. There comes the drone, but alas, the destructible rocks not yet done, and these Zerglings with ADHD are just going to run away and not even finish, and so this drone is going to be left with just a couple of his buddies he was able to recruit off of the forums to go ahead and kill these destructible rocks. But I mean, while the drone is doing everything he can, it's going to take him literally forever. Looks like these overlords just poking in, poking out, and trying to not die. And this overlord is giggling. He's actually getting tickled. He's like, ah, stop it, sentry. Oh man. And he laughed so hard he lost half of his health. That is a true story. Okay, hatchery is down at the 3rd for aTnDarKFoRcE now. He also controls 2 Zelnaga watchtowers. Doesn't control this one, courtesy of Zealots, because Zealots can go to the... Oh, and there's Grubby killing his own building, but now he can actually get out. And he has 6 sentries already. My goodness, 6 sentries. So he is going to be pretty scary with his force fields, and it looks like a Robo Bay going down as well. Expect to see an Observer. That's right, it's a new unit. Spoiler alert. I expect to see an Observer coming out, and of course not. It's going to be an Immortal. Whatever, Grubby. Just because you're better than me, you can just do whatever you want. So, right back to the game. We have, it looks like, another of Zealot's Grubbies. That's right. Whoa, calm down, slow down, deep breath. Okay, I'm back. So another of Grubby's Zealots being taken out by these Zerglings, and now they're going to be running around here checking. They're going to be like, oh no, a little bit of destructible rocks were damaged. I bet he was trying to kill stuff. And it looks like he is going to send Mutas and Zerglings over here to prevent the 3rd for as long as possible. Here comes the little group, and these sentries have quite a bit of force field energy, so they could get some good force fields over there. And in fact, they are going to need to. Nice force fields going down. Going to really hinder the ability for these Zerglings to do any damage, and so they're going to fall back. But there are some mutas on the way out. Looks like some mutas already out, about 8, and 3 more on the way. +1 air attacks, as well as +1 melee attacks on the way for the Zerg player. And look at this, taking a 4th. So as he applies pressure, tries to delay this 3rd from going up, he's going to take his 4th and just keep applying pressure. So great play there. And look at this, Grubby having to run his army all over the place in response to these I was going to say Hydralisks, but if Hydralisks had wings, man, then they would be really much more deadly than they already are, because they'd be able to move at a decent rate as opposed to just like the slugs that they are right now. So these Mutalisks going to be flying around here, going to be checking it out and being like, oh, look, a pylon. A free pylon? I'll take it. So he's going to go ahead and take that. Zerglings just hanging out here in the middle. It's a good reactionary force. They just want to be in whatever position they can be to kind of maneuver around and get in a good position. Looks like Grubby is his +1 armor just now finishing. Already has +1 weapons done. +1 melee done for Zerg, and +1 air attacks is just about to finish. More mutas on the way. Blink started, and a whole bunch of pylons, like 4 or so pylons, actually, on the way started. Look at the Zerg doing such a good job, aTnDarKFoRcE, of keeping every single Zelnaga watchtower. That's not actually a Zelnaga watchtower. The Zelnaga watchtower is right there. Fooled ya. Okay, now it looks like Grubby's still on 2 bases, going to be getting +2 right now. And you know what? They can actually, and by they I mean Grubby, and by Grubby I mean Protoss, can actually stay on 2 bases for a little bit. They'd like to take a 3rd, but you know what? They can stay on 2 bases, get their little death ball going, and then they can go ahead and just move out. Look at this, getting a Templar Archive. He sees all of the Mutalisks, and he realizes that Colossus not going to be the best against those, so he's going to go ahead and get High Templars instead. quite a good choice there, and it looks like aTnDarKFoRcE is a little bit careful, but he's going to have to back off. Did some damage to these stalkers, killed a couple of them. And just for funsies, oh, look at this. This observer just sipping on his tea, and reporting back, tattletaling on all of the Zerglings, just chilling at the middle of the map. And it looks like he tattletailed to the right people, because now all these Zerglings are going to be forced to move out of here. A couple of them dying for no reason. Oh, look at that blink. Such a good job there, and the blink is going to do a lot of damage. Oh, no, Muta's flying and losing one Muta, a couple more being really damaged, and the damaged guy just says, I don't want to live anymore, and leaves. Archons are out, so that's actually what he got. He got High Templar into Archon, which is really good, especially since they've had their ranged buffed. Their range buffed. There we go. They're quite a bit better at doing damage against the Mutalisks. So good choice there, getting some Archons to go with his army mix. And Blink Stalkers, like I said, is done right now. Plus 2 weapons almost done. But look at this. It is 4 bases on 2 bases. The third base is thinking about getting down. But look, oh, they're starting to be a lot of Mutalisks. We have 24 Mutalisks out right now. And, I mean, the Protoss, he has enough. He can split his forces. There, oh, there we go. Actually finished killing. But these Mutas, with their mobility, can just move around all this stuff. And it looks like Stalkers may want to blink in and do some damage. There's the blink. Nice job there. And it looks like these Mutas are actually going to stay in the party for a while, taking quite a bit of damage here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the units or loss tab. We can see that aTnDarKFoRcE has killed 7 probes, has not lost any drones this entire game, and Grubby, meanwhile, has killed 47 units rather versus the 13 units of aTnDarKFoRcE. But keep in mind that a lot of those were Zerglings, so that can skew the numbers a little bit, considering you get 2 of these little tiny Zerglings like fire ants for the price of 1 larva and 50 minerals. Quite a bargain, anyone would say. And look at this. It looks like Grubby going to be going for a counterattack at 148 supply, and aTnDarKFoRcE going to be moving in here with Mutas all over the place. He has so many Mutas. That's actually crazy. Holy wow, that's a lot of Mutas. And so he's going to be moving into the main of Grubby and just absolutely destroying everything. Look at this. There's just not a lot that Grubby has right here. Looks like a couple of Archons morphing. Are those Archons? No, those are Pylons. Oh, no. Meanwhile, Grubby moving into the natural of aTnDarKFoRcE, and this natural is absolutely toast, man. But we come over here, we see Zerglings now moving in here for aTnDarKFoRcE, doing a lot of damage to Grubby's natural, taking out all of the defenses. There are a couple of High Templars, as well as some cannons, and nice placement on these buildings here to really make it so these cannons can't be surrounded. But there is just so many Mutalisks. Oh my goodness, and it looks like this could be some kind of base trade scenario. You can see a lot of probes are going to be evacuated right now, as it looks like, oh, sorry, I misclicked there. It looks like Grubby's third is done and spamming a bajillion cannons. Meanwhile, his force is moving up into the main of aTnDarKFoRcE, going to be killing a lot of these drones, as well as focusing down the lair. And now he's going to kill all the tech structures as well. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like these Mutas doing a ton of damage, and they could actually just go ahead and take out everything here, and it looks like they will. Notice that in the main, the building has been killed, the Nexus. So, my goodness, quite a bit of damage here. More Zealots going to be running in here, but Zealots not very good against the Mutalisks. Over here, though, it looks like all of the tech buildings are going to be going down for aTnDarKFoRcE. He's rapidly trying to rebuild both his spawning pool and his spire. And meanwhile, it looks like more Mutas over here, and this is so many Mutalisks. My goodness, they're just moving in here, killing all of these cannons. The cannons actually made it up, but it looks like aTnDarKFoRcE does not care. Killing all of these Blink Stalkers, killing all of these cannons, and look at this, just going to focus down this Nexus as well. So it is going to be no Nexuses for Grubby. Oh no, and that's never the place you want to be in. But it looks like over here the third taken out by Grubby as well. So aTnDarKFoRcE, though, he did have his 4th expansion up, and it looks like he is transferring guys. But the transferring workers are going to lead the army of Grubby right to them. And this queen not going to be happy, as she is going to just go down in a pile of red goo. Looks like aTnDarKFoRcE has expanded over here as well, but his ball of Mutalisks doing so much damage over here that now he's going to try to pick off bases. And, I mean, he's already picked off all of the Nexuses, whatever. So he's going to be trying to pick off all the buildings now and kill Grubby that way. Grubby, meanwhile, is absolutely demolishing everything that the Zerg has. Look at the spawning pool going down again, and it looks like another spawning pool coming up here. aTnDarKFoRcE just needs to be able to build units. It looks like he has a lot of larva stock, well, some, but he just can't really build anything right now. Meanwhile, looks like pretty much all the Protoss buildings are going down and going to be dead. And, I mean, not to mention they're not powered or anything. He can still build a little bit here, but not very much money right now. So, crazy game right now. Look at this. It looks like Grubby is going to go into the correct, or is going the correct way. So, he is going to be able to find out that, oh my goodness, aTnDarKFoRcE has another base here. aTnDarKFoRcE is going to be expanding again down here and also down here. And now it's just a matter of playing keep away. Look at this. It looks like Grubby was thinking about putting down a Nexus maybe over there. I think he needs to kill this extractor first so there's no vision. But that's actually a pretty decent place to put a Nexus so nobody would see that it's there. And that could kind of juke out these Zerg units. But the Zerg units are mobile, they are flying, and they are killing absolutely everything. And Grubby has to be careful because he really doesn't have any buildings up right now. Oh my goodness, he needs to be careful. And just going to throw down a pylon. But that's going to be good enough to keep him in the game a little bit. So now Grubby's force is moving down, and he is going to be trying to find out exactly where his Zerg opponent is. Looks like aTnDarKFoRcE re-expanded to his main, probably an area that Grubby will not check, at least not for very long. Now Grubby has 8 supply that he can actually build with. So he has 82 over 8. So he is going to be supply blocked for the rest of the game. This army is all he's going to have. Meanwhile, aTnDarKFoRcE at about a 20 supply disadvantage, but he does have bases up, and he actually has income. Let's take a look at the income tab. You can see he's making about about 300 minerals a minute, but he has less harvesters. It doesn't matter because Grubby doesn't have an expansion up. So really, really crazy. We'll take a look at the army supplies, and we can see that Grubby ahead in army supplies, workers about even. So, my goodness, this is really anybody's game right now, and I guess we'll just look at units at this point because production is not going to be a factor at all. Now it's all going to be about scouting and finding your opponent's bases. You can see Grubby killing that base down there, and now going to be moving up and seeing what other base he can do. But look at this by aTnDarKFoRcE, such a good job. I already said it, but I want to say it again. He's expanded here back to his main and also all the way down here to the bottom. You can see this stalker has found it, and so all of his buddies going to be coming over here, even blinking a little bit faster and trying to focus down this hatchery. And Grubby is hoping that this is the last hatchery, but alas, it is not. There is one more building, and it is right over here. So, oh man, and look at these mutas, not even going to engage, just going to be sniping off probes where they can and trying to, they don't want to engage this because they actually, I think, lose. They lose this battle if they engage this army. So, the mutas are just flying around, playing keep away, and trying to pick off all of the Protoss buildings before the Protoss can actually get there. And look at this, putting another assimilator down here. Very, very nice. All you need to have is one building in order to be alive in this game. Looks like he's taking another assimilator up here. So not very much money left, only 250 minerals for Grubby, but he is spending it as best he can. Does not have enough for a Nexus anymore, so he's just going to be putting little buildings all over the place and making those mutas fly everywhere. Meanwhile, his big ball o' death is going to be moving around and trying to kill the remainder of these Zerg forces. But look at this. aTnDarKFoRcE expanding again over here to this expansion. So he is going to have, it looks like, two expos up and maybe trying to hide something. I don't know. But these expos pretty close together, so I feel like, oh, drone, run away, drone, run away. I don't think he's going to make it. No, he's definitely not. So these mutas going to come back here. Oh, they found one of the pylons. This pylon actually comically close to the hatchery. So pylon going down, and now where are the buildings left for aTnDarKFoRcE? It looks like he has one assimilator there, but it's already been spotted. He has an assimilator right here. He has a probe. Nope, the assimilator down here was taken out. So he has literally just a couple of assimilators. That is it. That is all that he has left, and these mutas hunting around trying to find it. And look at this drone. He's going to move this drone down. See, he has enough money now, and so he's just going to keep on putting his little drones all over the place and building hatcheries. So, oh, looks like an assimilator going down there as well. So assimilators spread out all over the place because, as we all know, assimilators, and I will show you, are cheaper than pylons. So they do the job that the pylon would do, which is they just allow the Protoss to not die because there's any buildings, but they cost a little bit less. And when you're in a money crunch, you might as well spend the least amount of minerals possible on your buildings when all you're using buildings for is really just because they're a building. Oh, looks, this drone going to be taken down But it looks like there is a drone hidden over here. We're going to have to see if he does anything with that. At this point, though, it looks like DarkFoRcE only has one base. He only has one building left, and it's this hatchery right here. And this army coming up toward it, so this could be pretty scary. Grubby at 57 supply versus DarkFoRcE at 65. And, oh, look at this, putting a hatchery down here, and this is so good. Who says you have to build buildings right here where people will scout them? Just build them wherever, and actually double expanding over here as well. So even if he loses this base, he will not be out of the game. And really, when it comes down to, this is really, I mean, this is all it comes down to. Pylon going down right here as well, and it looks like this has been killed as well as, and actually, is this the only building? Oh my goodness, just barely got that up in time. Grubby, this is the only building he has left, is this pylon. And so now he's in a weird spot, because if he leaves the pylon, then he loses. So it looks like he's going to be spreading out and just waiting for the Zerg rather to attack. Also, he's sending in a few people here and going to be trying to snipe this hatchery. But when, I mean, it's really all he can do. But when you split up your units like this, and look at this Immortal may actually get picked off. 21 kill Immortal, my goodness, an Executor for sure. And the Immortal does go down, and it looks like Muta is going to be running in here and picking off these smaller amounts of the Protoss units, and now it's going to be down. Look at this, a few more. Oh no, I don't think he should be splitting up, but it looks like he is going to be blinking away now, trying to get out of there. And look at this, he was going to go up here and look at this next expansion. That is actually not the last expansion, because this hatchery's still alive. This expansion is up, and there is the Ninja over here in the corner. Just wanted to get the good view of this Vespine Geyser. When you check into this hatchery hotel, they're like, would you like a view of a grassy field with creep? Would you like a view of a broken bridge, or would you like a field of some gas? And everybody's like, show me the gas, man. That's what I want. Everybody's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. It's your money, so wherever you want to sleep, that's fine. I've heard creep is pretty soft to sleep on, though, although sometimes people have been known to actually just sink into it and disappear, become part of the hive. Da, 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 da. Okay, so it looks like a couple of Archons and a couple of Stalkers is all that remains of Grubby's force. And here comes the Mutalisks, and so it looks like these Archons are going to do as much damage as possible. And you can see the splash damage doing a lot of damage to the Archon, or to the Mutas, but it's not going to be enough. Grubby goes down, and there is the GG. 0 supply versus 65. Great job by DarkFoRcE, and what a crazy game. I mean, it was like a base trade into like multiple base trades, ring around the rosy, people running all over the place trying to do stuff. It was craziness. But I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the game. I hope you guys did too. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow.